feet about to be on camera. Like,
that's fine.
It's not. It's not.
Oh.
Thank you, honey. Covering up my feet.
All right, you ready?
Why are you so smiling?
I don't know.
Why do you do this?
I don't know. You ready?
Not really. The first question is, so how do you feel?
No, it's supposed to be like, so how do you feel? Haven't moved. How do you feel right now? It's like a check-in.
Are we doing whoever has the mic?
Yeah, so explain to them.
What? You go first.
Explain to them.
You go first. You break the ice. So how do you feel?
Okay, first, we'll explain the format. So we only have one mic, and we figured that to kind of help mediate or moderate the discussion, whoever has the mic is the only one that can speak. You know, you're not supposed to speak. I'm talking. So I forgot, we came up with like a little... Okay, here.
I don't need the mic for this. Stop talking to the camera. Just talk.
Oh, okay, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, we're not, like, this is just a normal thing.
Okay. But you gotta explain the rule though, so
Okay, whoever has the mic talks, the other person can't talk.
Okay.
That's just the rule. That's just the rule. That's the rule we came up with.
We don't judge, like that kind of thing.
No.
I'm going first. You can't wave the mic, okay? You can't be like...
Okay.
So how do you feel?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, okay.
Because you're breaking the ice. I can't do this. So how do you feel?
I feel pretty good.
No fillers.
It's been a week and a half.
I'm not supposed to talk.
Yeah. It's been a week and a half, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And of course, when you first get into the space, it's honeymoon phase. Everything's perfect. And then, in a matter of days, reality hits and there's life. It's back to normal. So this last week was eventful, right? It was some ups and downs, but overall just feeling good, So I'm happy we made this move, and I'm happy with what we're going to do and basically use it as opportunity. How about you?
I don't think there was a honeymoon phase.
Day?
The first day when we were moving in?
2 days.
When we moved in?
What?
Like when we were actually moving in?
Yeah.
We were arguing about the movers.
Oh, yeah.
And we literally...
had to, double the money?
Double the money, and you weren't being firm and telling them we only wanted to, only move until 6 o'clock. So there was no honeymoon. I mean, when we actually moved in, we were fine. But moving in, there was no honeymoon phase.
Can I say something?
No. How do I feel? I don't know. I'm not settled yet. I'm still restless nights. Glad we made the transition, but still not settled. Mm-hmm. What do you want to say? This has something to do with what I said earlier, so now you don't have to want to say it anymore?
Yeah. You said I wasn't firm with them. But
that's true.
But they had
okay, so you do have something to say.
Oh, okay. Let's keep it moving.
Okay. We're not editing any of this out. This is just what it is.
Okay, then let's go.
Moving to the next question?
Yeah, I get to ask you first now.
That's a hard question.
All right, so a heavy hitter.
Oh, I don't have an answer. Oh, I don't know.
You want me to go?
Hold on.
Here.
Wait, we should do that question first.
No, you know what? You don't have to have the perfect answer. How do you think moving to a new place can impact someone's personal growth?
You didn't ask that casual enough.
Okay, but I asked it. Here you go. Just talk.
I don't know. I really don't have an answer.
How has it affected you, like moving? Has it impacted you? Has it helped you grow, or is it just for the birds?
Just for the birds. It's not just for the birds. I was just saying what you said, because what is that phrase? Is it just for the birds?
Like, is it hype? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's not going to affect your growth. It's just life.
It is just life.
Okay, but
It can put you out of your comfort zone. Like, I'm not in my comfort zone right now, especially moving here, because it's like a different space. Mm-hmm. So I'm like channeling a little bit of you on the creativity side.
okay. So it's that's growth, right?
Yeah, because I'm doing something different that I wouldn't normally do. Like, if I wasn't with you, I wouldn't be living here. Mm-hmm. So I'm channeling something else.
Okay, that's cool. So that could be for other people too. Like, they could be moving someplace that's a little bit uncomfortable for
Yeah,
them.
being more open-minded.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, what's your scientifical answer to how do you think moving to a new place can impact someone's personal growth? This is about to be 45 minutes.
I'm getting keep it short and sweet.
We'll see.
God, when I saw this question, I was just thinking more of like a fresh start. So it's kind of like growing up, having to switch schools. Sometimes it's hard to leave a place or to leave people you've met or a certain community, but then it's like a new opportunity to start fresh or like reinvent yourself or not carry any baggage with you that you may have had. It's just like being in a new space kind of gives you a little extra boost, even though you can like change anytime. Like, you don't have to move to change. Like, you can change where you're at, but sometimes like taking that step, like you have to take action to actually move somewhere. And when you do that, I feel like you can say, okay, there's certain things I'm gonna leave behind. And so for us, it's kind of like this opportunity where we feel like, okay, what do we want to do in this new space? And we don't have to do that, right? We could have made changes where we were at, but it's like, let's be more financially smart. We've been on that journey, and then this is like, okay, when we're in here, let's be more intentional. Let's build something together, and that's what this is. Like, let's get a space that inspires us, and that's what this is. So I feel like, in general, people can be like, there's something more that I want to kind of push myself for. Maybe it's like moving into like a different state or something, and it's like you've always wanted to move to Arizona and like be in the outdoors and stuff. Like, that's a way you can kind of grow yourself or seek change. You got to pick. You want to build upon that?
No, not necessarily. The question is, do you have to move to change? And you kind of answer that.
Do you want to answer that? Do you feel like you have to move?
You kind of answered it.
Okay, well, do you feel like you have to move to make changes in your life? A person has to do that?
No. It doesn't have to be exactly like that.
Yeah, the blue light has to face you, but you can hold it comfortably. There you go.
I am holding it comfortably. The blue light was facing me right here.
Okay, that's too close.
Is that right?
Okay.
No, you don't have to move to change, but it makes it easier to change because you're in a different space. Mm-hmm. So.
And it takes
you don't have the mic. It takes the extra, gives you an extra boost to actually change, but do you have to move to change? No, it just makes the process a lot easier.
Okay.
Do you have something that you want to say? Because you were trying to interrupt me. This is a hard question too.
I want to ask this one. Since we've moved so much, has there been anything that you've learned from all those transitions, like overall, or anyone specifically? Because I mean, like, I feel like, you know, when we like tell people we're moving, like again, like our parents especially, they're just over it. They're like, okay, this is what y'all do. Like every year or two, y'all are moving. So like, I mean, we're making a move now that we feel like we're gonna be at for a while, but is there anything you've learned overall or specifically for a specific move that we've made?
I don't like this whole mic thing, going back and forth, because it's weird. We should just have our own mics.
No, this is fine. I think it helps you speak.
I actually didn't think about this until right now, asking the question. But I'm actually not as type A as I thought it was. Because I'm like, growing up, I was literally in the same place, same school, same friends, same house, all the things. And I'm very type A, and like, I like my space. I like things to be consistent. I like to know what's expected next. And I actually don't do that when moving from places. Like, we literally move every single year. Mm-hmm. And it's just like figuring out something new every single year. So I'm actually not it's not type A. What am I trying to say? Like, I don't need, I have a little bit more spontaneity in me than I thought I did.
Yeah, like you're not as like structured as like rigid.
Well, I am on a day-to-day basis, but like, yeah. I have a little bit more flexibility than what I thought.
In fact, you're the one that usually like gets.
Oh yeah, I'm the one that forces all the moves. Yeah. By the way, so if it wasn't for me, we would be in Houston, Texas, at Coralstone.
Yeah, probably have
same house,
halfway paid off.
Yeah. Well, okay, that doesn't matter. But we would be in the same spot, doing the same thing. And I have spiced up our life. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll add to that. I would say the fact that you've done that has made it like they're adventure. Yeah, they're like small adventures. And Dallas was kind of a bigger one just because it was a new city, but each step has been an adventure. And so, I feel like you pretty much touched on everything. For me, the transitions, I guess what I've learned from you is that not to just get comfortable or complacent. So I guess that's what they've taught me. All the moves we made is like every time there's been something I feel like we've experienced or improved upon. And now we're able to make more intentional decisions and like we know ourselves better. Because I don't think the goal is to necessarily keep moving every year or 2 years. I think like we would like to stay. But even then, I could see us moving like every 5 or 6 years. Like just to, and I mean, I have the mic. Like whether that's like at a certain point where if we have the financial freedom to just move states, or I mean, the dream is one day live in New York City. But I guess what I'm saying is like, I don't see us like being in the same place for like 25 years. I see us moving maybe once in between those.
But also think about yourself. Okay. You didn't like moving when you were younger.
Well, yeah.
So do you want that for your kids?
Well, that's what I'm...
You can talk. We're right here. You just put it in the middle. Okay, whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like when we have kids, I would see it like every 5 or 6 years, possibly moving. Because I didn't like it at the time.
Okay.
But I'm actually like looking back, I'm glad that I lived in like Virginia, Connecticut, Arizona, like not just Arizona, but like Prescott, Arizona, like different parts. You know, so Texas, I feel like that I'm actually happy I did that. So would I have wanted to move as frequently? Probably not, but like in the moment, a kid's not gonna like it, but later on, it's like they'll have, you know, more experiences to pull from.
And I will say that's probably why I like to move more, because I didn't have that experience. So
Yeah.
We'll meet in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, you said you didn't want to do that question.
Do you want to do it?
Setting up a new partner. I mean, we kind of already entered it.
Yeah.
It's like new.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is quoted. This is quoted. Time for the nitty gritty and the important questions when moving in with a partner.
So this is specific.
This is a question for me.
Okay. All right, so these are like the most important questions.
I like the way that I phrased it, but okay, whatever.
How do you feel about having 2 bathrooms, sharing a sink when you're moving in with a partner?
What? Why did you ask that?
Okay. And I feel like...
How do you feel about moving in with a partner?
All right, okay.
And sharing a sink? We're not sharing. Oh, we are. We're not sharing a sink.
But I think we did though.
How do we feel about having 2 bathrooms?
We are sharing a sink, kind of.
We are sharing a sink. We've always had 2 bathrooms. Not always.
Not always.
There was one time that we didn't have 2 bathrooms.
So why is 2 bathrooms important?
Because I need my space. Only child for 14 years. I need my space. And I was going to say pubic hairs.
What?
Facial. When you shave and things and there's like hair all in the sink and we don't.
Okay, yeah, those don't go in the sink.
Pubic hairs?
Yes. I don't.
Well, I didn't mean pubic hairs. I
know.
meant your facial hair, and when you cut your hair,
That's
it's
a
in the
weird
sink.
image that I'm getting right now.
And you're not supposed to be talking.
Okay.
When you cut your hair, you think you clean the hair, but you don't clean the hair well. It's also good for when we have 2 mirrors.
I cut my hair, by the way.
When we have 2 mirrors and you get toothpaste all over the mirror, that's not like my side that has to deal with the toothpaste. We're sharing a sink now, but we still have 2 bathrooms and you just have the other bathroom. So how do I feel about having 2 bathrooms? Don't ever have 1 bathroom if you have a spouse.
What about the toilet situation?
Yeah, I'm going to say the bad word, but I'm going to stop. When there's alcohol involved or
What?
when there's like bad eating, unhealthy eating, it's valuable to have 2 bathrooms because he knows how to stink it up.
Alcohol, they got that specific?
Yeah, it's terrible when you have tequila.
Tequila?
Tequila. Oof.
Okay. All right.
Sharing a sink isn't bad. No, we need 2 everything. So basically, you just need to be in the other bathroom. You can shower in the same bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
But if everything else, no. But you can't shower in the same bathroom whenever we're both getting ready at the same time. Because then it,
Too foggy.
yeah, messes with me.
And you get angry.
Okay. Well, how do you feel about sharing bathroom and a sink. And I don't poop, so don't even talk about me going to the bathroom.
No. I'm going to save you. I'm not going to talk about certain details.
Don't even. I already now I'm thinking about what you're
Yeah, and I'm not, because I respect you. And it'll probably come up later in a later podcast, but I'm going to save you. Just know. Just know. Now, the whole sink situation. You like to pretend that you are this super clean woman. And it's like...
But I actually am.
No.
I actually am. It's just when I don't have time.
Who has the mic? When you do makeup, it gets everywhere.
No, it doesn't. Makeup.
Stop talking.
I've never makeup everywhere.
I have the mic. He or she who has the mic speaks.
That was stupid.
See, you just don't follow rules. The rules only apply to me. That's how this relationship works. We make rules, and then it only applies to me. All right, hair. Okay, first of all, who cleans the bathroom in this relationship? I do. So I know hair, makeup, you leave stuff, it's not really put away, hair wraps, all that stuff is left out. No, it's not.
That's a lie.
Not all the time.
Hair, I will give you. Hair in the sink, yes, I will give you. Makeup, where?
Like the little powder, when I clean the counters, brown. Tones.
That was in the other apartment because the sinks were bad.
Excuses. Now, do you put toothpaste on the mirror? No. Are you like flicking water everywhere like me? No. Is there hair from you shaving? No. But you do contribute. You do contribute. Okay. Now, having two bathrooms also helps from like, obviously when you're using the restroom, but also like in this apartment specifically, like when I get up in the morning, I can go over there and it's not as loud. So it's like if somebody has to get ready at a different time, that usually helps as well. So two bathrooms if you can is definitely a play, big time. Makes your relationship just like, 10% smoother. So we can agree on that?
Yes, two bathrooms and also two sinks. We don't have two sinks in the one bathroom. We just have two bathrooms with two separate sinks. But if you could get two sinks, it's the best way.
Why is for us, I think we show the kitchen. Like why is the kitchen, why has that been so important for us in our relationship? And how could it also be like how could like something that we do kind of be helpful for someone else? Because I feel like we do it pretty right. I'm kind of leading the question. Yeah, that's a terrible question.
Do you want me to ask the question so you can answer?
No, you answer it. Like, okay, why has the kitchen become so important to us? That's, I guess, what we're trying to get at. Because I feel like there's something that we do well that we could share.
We don't DoorDash. No, actually, we don't DoorDash. I was about to say we do DoorDash, but we don't DoorDash.
Maybe like once, 2 months.
I don't know if we've ever actually DoorDashed food once. That was one time. Yeah. We cook. So when I say we cook, most of the time you cook. Well, we do it together. We do it together, but
when we do it the best is when we do it together.
Yeah, and it's a whole thing. It's like glass of wine or drink of choice, playing games, asking questions. Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can answer the question in a second. We play music on the record player. We basically romanticize making dinner with each other. So it's like an event. It's not just a chore. Mm. I feel like I was going to say something else. And I don't know. I think that's all I wanted to say. We just romanticize making dinner together. And it's a whole moment. Yeah. It's something to look forward to. It's a bonding experience. It brings us closer together. Mm-hmm. Do you want to add to what I'm trying to say?
I was gonna say that like when we do it right, because we can notice a difference when we do it, when we don't do it, I guess. So it's like when we do it right, we're overall happier because we're present, we're not distracted. And a lot of times the experience can be better than what it would be at like a restaurant. Like now I do mess up and the food does, not always come out good.
Yeah, and I don't play with my food. We've actually been on a streak. We've actually been on a streak the past 2 weeks since moving in of me not being satisfied with my dinners. And I'm going to put that on you because you've been picking the dinners instead of letting me have a say in the dinners.
I just think I've been off. I gotta it's the new apartment. I gotta get in the swing in the new kitchen.
No, I think it's just you always want to try new things.
I'm overstimulated. There's too much going on. I haven't been fully present.
The point is, if I don't get the right kind of food in my system for dinner, I'm not happy.
Yeah, you're angry. And it's not even like the food can still be like a 7. It's like for her, it has to be it has to hit. And what that means is there has to be a bread. There has to be.
That is not true.
I made spaghetti this week. Spaghetti, it was bomb. It was good. And the only reason why she wasn't satisfied is we didn't get garlic bread because we're trying to be a little bit healthier. But for you, it's like it can ruin the night if you're not satisfied.
And anybody who says that their food doesn't ruin their night, something's wrong with you. Who doesn't want to be satisfied?
You act like I'm out here making 2s and 3s.
Well, the curry you said, was it a 5?
I asked. I didn't think it was a 5.
Well, the first day it was a 5. Day 3, it was I guess I would say 2.
We got better with time.
But still, it needed a lot of salt.
Yeah.
The salt bring out the flavor.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So.
No 2s and 3s. We don't make 2s. No, there has been a 2 or 3 before. The fish soup.
Or when you dump the whole thing of salt in the meat or something, and we're eating salt for dinner.
I did that one time. That was chili powder.
Okay. Well, that's a 2.
You couldn't even take that. Would happen with that and oregano, and you can't. I took it out, so you couldn't taste it extremely.
You've done it with salt too. There's been times. Let's not play. All right, but to tie it back, I think that like in our generation and times we're in now, it's so easy to DoorDash, and you literally can get whatever food you want without leaving the house delivered to you. And it's like kitchens could be used more. And it's like even sometimes like going over to our families and stuff, it's like we stay with our family, and when we cook, it's a bonding moment and they appreciate that. And I feel like, do you have to cook every meal? No, because it's like certain jobs and lifestyles won't allow you that. But doing it like once or twice a week, you're going to save money. You can pick whatever you want. It might take some while. Like, some people will be like, well, I can't cook. Well, you can. It might take a month or 2 to kind of get the hang of things. It's kind of like working out. But I feel like that's something that maybe our generations don't really, like, how many people do you think like still eat at the dinner table? Like as a family, or just not even a family, like a couple. Like, I don't know if that's as common as it used to be, maybe. Yeah, like at home. Like sit down at a table, like make it an event.
And we also don't do it we don't do it every night.
No.
Like we don't do record player.
No, yeah, we don't do that every night.
Sometimes but we'll do it. Me like chopping up the vegetables and you actually make a dinner and then I'm done.
Yeah, but ideally it should be like at least twice a week that we do that. Yeah. And that's our goal, like being here. So that's another thing, like moving here, we've had moments where we had really good habits. And so we're trying to like be realistic and pick things that over the years.
Our word for the year, Intentional.
Yeah.
Trying to be intentional.
Trying to be intentional. Yes, yes. And so,
yeah, you can be intentional about the design and decoration of this apartment.
so let's kind of tie that in. I know we don't have it there, but like, why did we move in the first place? Like we started with saying like, how could moving be used for growth or opportunity? Like, what is what we're doing specific to us? Like what are we trying to do specifically, and why this apartment? What are our plans for it? What are the plans for our life these next couple of years?
Oh, a very loaded question for me. Well, first we moved to a bigger space in general, just to have more space. We're old. We want to have kids. Mm-hmm. A kid, possibly, not kids. We also moved for the creative aspect, wanting to do something together.
What are we doing?
Okay, I will get there. Starting podcasting, YouTubing, vlogging together. And it's not necessarily for like anyone else. If anything, it's for us to just like have the conversation piece and to learn about each other more, but also to help other people who need some like help in relationships or like something to look forward to in relationships.
What makes us qualified to do that?
We're not qualified. We are not qualified whatsoever. So don't listen to everything that we say. This is just from our experience. Like,
how much experience do we have?
8 years. 8 years of marriage. And then almost 13 years of being together.
And how many knowing each other? And
then knowing each other for sophomore year I met you?
20 years.
Was it sophomore year?
I don't know. I just know it.
So that was like 2007.
Oh no, maybe like 18 years.
2007. So like 17, 18 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're not qualified because
I don't think anyone's qualified.
Yeah.
It's like
just navigating and talking about our experience. So, and also we're doing this in the sense of just being able to like look back on like where we came from and how far we've grown and what we did when we were younger.
Yeah.
So all those pieces.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain?
Yeah. So you came up with the name for the page, For Better, For Worse. And I guess
tiny in the camera.
It's okay. I guess we can kind of talk about like the logo and stuff and what it means later. But the For Better or For Worse, I thought was a good idea because that's kind of the take that you're saying right now. It's like, I feel like we both really value marriage, or like we want to have not just like a healthy marriage, but also like a romantic marriage that lasts a long time. Like we both value that. And so I think, but we also understand that it's like for better or for worse. So it's kind of like we are aiming for better, but it could be that the way we're doing it is for worse. Like that's how I see it. I don't know if that's how you see it. But for me, it's like, there's always, I know it's too deep. There's always the chance, you came up with the name, but it immediately spoke to me in that way where it's like, it's for better, but you know, with marriage, things can go sideways in a week, in a day, over a year.
In a week, in a day, in 15 minutes.
15 minutes, like 1 minute. Like and that's the thing that's kind of scary about marriage is like, you hear stories where it's like they've been married 50 years and then like it ends badly. And it's like, it's one of those relationships where you can literally lose all of what you've invested. And so I guess that's my opinion of it. It's like, hey, we're two people that are trying to be really intentional about our relationship in a romantic way. And it's like, we are hoping that we're doing it right, but we could be on a track to bad things.
There's no right or wrong way.
Well, yeah, there's no right or wrong way.
Way.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way. We're just hoping. Ends up well. Yes. Do we, like, basically we're trying to figure it out. And it'll probably always be like that. Because again, it's not something that you get to a place and you're like, oh, we're good. It's like life is always happening no matter what. So I feel like this apartment for us was like, it's kind of like an investment. Like, let's invest in a space that truly speaks to us, where we can have, I guess this is like a studio office where we're recording, be intentional, like share kind of like the things that we do that we think can help other people. It's like cooking. So
it's basically like a date for us to feel more connected, but also helping other people. Yeah,
so like we talked about cooking together. We plan on like showing those experiences, basically just we're trying to show us working through it, and maybe you can learn from what we do well, but also our mistakes, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of those. And granted, like perfect example of this, like leading up to this week was rough. So we don't need to like get into the details, but I also want to make it clear is like we could post this podcast, right? Or whatever this is. Mm-hmm. And it looks, look at new space. But it's like, nah, like this week leading up to this was hot and heavy. There's a lot of things we had to work through. We're still working through. And here's the thing.
It was hot and heavy 5 minutes before this. I said, we're not recording.
Yeah, she didn't want to sit on the floor.
Sit on the floor or not recording. I mean, we're not sitting on the floor or we're not recording.
Yeah, she's like, that's it.
We're not doing
and I'm like, just trust the process. I have a vision. Like, I don't want to sit, well, we weren't going to get into that, but I didn't want to sit in two chairs and it be too podcasty. I wanted to be relaxed. I wanted to be able to pet the dogs. So in the comments, let us know who you think was right. Bryce, or should we?
Well, they wouldn't know because they didn't see us.
She wanted two chairs.
And he said sit with the dogs because that's his like, if we sit on the floor, we can sit with the dogs.
Yeah, anytime I want to get her to agree with me, I plug in the dogs and it works.
Okay.
So.
Oh, sorry.
Look, you got me distracted. I was gonna tie it together.
Well, we can go ahead and talk about the name also. You said we were going to talk about the name later.
Yeah, I think, no, we should save that.
Okay.
We should save that.
What were we doing before? We already did that.
That's what I was going to say, is that, one of the criticisms you see is about social media. It's like people are only posting happy moments, right? But it's like those moments are easy to document because it's more natural to document those. It's like nobody, when they're in the middle of an argument, is like, oh, let's record this.
We might.
Yeah, we might try it one day, but that'll be interesting. But you don't actually, like, you're so invested in the moment when you're in an argument. That you're not like, I want to share this. Like, you're literally trying to solve a problem. And so I feel like that just naturally happens, so like you only naturally see the good things because when someone's actually working through a problem, they're trying to figure out the problem. They're not worried about like, this could be helpful to somebody. Yeah. They're just trying to help themselves at that moment. So I think we're going to try to be open about like things aren't perfect. Like we literally, like Sunday night, we're up till like 2:00.
This past Sunday.
Yeah, hashing things out. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
we didn't feel connected, or I felt a disconnect.
Yeah, how are we gonna get?
No, we're not gonna get into that. I'm just saying this is the gist of the argument.
Yeah, this is just first podcast. Let's keep it light.
Moving in here again, we're not. They were very.
Yeah,
it was no real honeymoon.
It was a real.
Just like.
I mean, for me, it was a honeymoon because I just love the space. But for her,
new space, consistency, it's different.
Okay, so I guess with that, we're essentially just wanting you to document, be intentional. What do you hope for? Like, what do you hope? What do you see coming from this? What do you hope for?
The main hope is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't. The main hope is that we get more connected, honestly, aside from everybody else. That's first and foremost, is that we can communicate better and more clearly with each other. And then also having, again, memories to look back on. And then after that is helping other people who might, again, struggle in relationships or think negatively of them or don't know how to romanticize their relationships or be intentional. So helping other people. But again, the first thing is just us. What do you hope for?
I think basically what you said, keeping it real. Like, that's the biggest thing, is I want to try to keep it as authentic as possible. I know it's going to as soon as you put a camera on, it kind of changes things. But I feel like I want to try to really, red flag pop in my brain when it's like, oh, this is not real. This is fake. Like, I want to, pay attention to those signals and not just try to, present ourselves a certain way in a way. I mean, it's in our nature. You're probably never going to see Shaniera dressed down because you're a fashionista. But that's your passion, not in a bad way. I'm saying, you like to dress. So you're probably never gonna
show myself in a hair wrap
or a bonnet or something, and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to show that.
I might.
I'm probably gonna catch you a couple times. To be honest. If you want raw footage, our stories. You post me in a boxers the other day.
A boxer. My boxers the other day. I was like, I don't know about that. But but the stories is raw footage for sure. But I just hope that we can, for better or for worse, build something that we're proud of, and essentially, like you said, it helps us, but hopefully some way it can help other people, It's that's what I want to talk about. Is I feel like it's hard to sometimes see personally outside of movies what romance or what a healthy marriage looks like. It's the statistics, the statistics are kind of stacked against you or against marriage. It's because this is what I always thought about, and then I try not to get too off tangent. 45 minutes later.
It's if 50% of the marriages end in divorce, that's not even including what's the stat? I can't believe I never stumble on that word. What's the stat for
You never stumbled on that word? You barely know how to talk in general.
All right, we're not gonna go there.
Milk.
All right, we're not going there. That's off topic. What's the stat for marriages where both partners are faithful? What's the stat for marriages where both partners are actually happy?
Yeah. What's
the stat for marriages that last the whole time? I feel eventually it gets to 2, 10, 1%. The percentage for a couple that's been married forever, till they die, where they were happy and they were intentional and they were honest and faithful. I feel that stat is even small, super, super small.
Yeah.
So you don't see it. And my hope is that maybe we can achieve that. That's the goal. So the for better or for worse.
I feel we've already achieved that. That's one thing I will say that we
could die.
No, I'm saying
It's not. That's the thing about marriage. No. The stat isn't over until we die.
No, I'm saying
we still have 40 years.
I'm saying people you saying like what's the stat of people who are actually happy in marriage? Like some people will just like settle in a marriage and be like, oh, this is just how it is.
Yeah.
That's not us. So that's like,
you don't settle.
That's like one thing that I don't play games with. Like
Shaniera does not settle. If there's something I think she does is you can't sleep ever. Like she's challenging you every second of the day.
Yeah. If I'm not happy, you're going to know. And like, that's just it. We're either going to fix it or remove, like we're moving on. So I will say if people can learn anything from us, it is that we, specifically me, which means you don't either, we're not settling. We're going to be happy, whatever that means to me and you.
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, we hope that we can be like a positive role model, like for kids, like growing up, like, hey, like you can achieve this. But that's the part I'm scared of too. It's like, once you start sharing it publicly, then it's like, again, it's only about us, right? But at the end of the day, too, it's like, I don't want to be like fail and then be like, oh, dang, there goes our hope. Not that people would hope in us, but it's like, you do like sometimes see relationships and you're like rooting for them. Mm-hmm. Like I know. And so when it doesn't work, it kind of does. Well, that's what I've experienced personally, you know? It's like you're rooting for somebody and then you hear they break up and you're like, damn, that was my first cuss word. You're gonna forget about that. You're like, dang, like it part of you starts to second guess. It's like, so I don't want to be that. Now again, I don't think people are gonna hope in us, but just like I would like to be have a positive impact outside of our relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just here to keep it real.
Okay, do you want to end it? You want closing remarks?
What is our closing remark?
We're not there yet. I just think for better or for worse.
No, that's cringy.
Cringy?
Don't do that.
Here, take the mic. All right, we gotta go. They're ready to go. They're done.
I don't know. What do you want to say?
Just want to say we're extremely hopeful.
You give me the mic and then you start to talk.
We're extremely hopeful. We're gonna try
for the journey.
For the journey, and we're gonna try to be authentic, show the ups and downs, and yeah.
Hopefully, it's something you can learn from. But that's it.
All right.